This came out yesterday. A fake study from the University of Colorado claims 1 in 15 Americans have survived mass shootings. What? I'm going to break down the study for you guys because it's just that ridiculous. It's as ridiculous as it sounds. By the way, before I get this, is according to CBS. CBS kind of summarizes the study. 1 in 15 Americans is 7% or 25 million Americans. So if it sounded ridiculous, if you heard 1 in 15 and you were like, that sounds like a lot, it's a lot. It's a lot, and it's too many. It's not accurate. I'm sorry. This isn't real. No, this doesn't work. These are the qualifications that you had to have in order to be a part of the 25 million people or the 1 in 15. This is according to one of the researchers. They say, quote, "It means you are in the direct vicinity to where you could see the shooter. There were bullets that were fired in your direction, or if you couldn't see the shooter, that you could hear the gunshots." And then they classified a mass shooting as at least 4 people were shot in public. So here's the funny thing, guys. In a lot of these leftist stuff, a lot of these kind of fudged studies that they'll do at very woke universities like the University of Colorado in Boulder, they fudge the qualifications. They didn't really fudge the qualifications in this one. That's what's so fascinating. I mean, I would classify 4 people being shot in public as a mass shooting. I would. That's a lot of people, to be shot, again, in public. This isn't like they talk a lot about suicide at a school, and they'll say it's a school shooting. That's BS. Like, they'll be in the parking lot. It's awful. I'm not saying it's awful. It's not a school shooting. We know that. 4 people being shot, yeah, I mean, that's pretty serious. I would say that's a mass shooting. And I would also say that if you can at least hear bullets flying in your area, I would say, yeah, you've been involved. I really don't think they fudge the qualifications like they do with a lot of these studies. So the problem is not the qualifications like a lot of the fake studies are out there. It's the fact that anyone with brain cells knows that this is not true. Like, it's just basic logic. I can't believe they published a study because they basically found this through some sort of survey. I think they surveyed a lot of people. I think it was like 100,000 people. And if I was the researcher, I'd look at this and be like, I don't know how we got these results. This is just not right. It is so far off from logic and reason that it's not right. Here's the other crazy thing. It gets crazier. It really does. This is the craziest statistic from this. The study also found that 2% of Americans have been injured in a mass shooting. 2%. Once again, like, what in the world? Injured in a mass shooting. That's like 7 million people. 2%. That means, again, all of us know at least 100 people. That means out of the 100 people that we might know, minimum, I mean, we know probably hundreds of people. But let's say we all know about 100 people that we could like name their names of and we're like fairly close to our acquaintances with. That's saying 2 of them have been injured in a mass shooting. No, I'm sorry. No, it's not true. Again, 7 million people in the United States. It's not true. The way they got this info, again, was from surveying people, and it must have just been so off. And I think that they should have re-looked at this before actually publishing it, but they didn't want to do that. And that kind of gets me to this point, which is that there are fundamentally 2 problems with this study. The first is that it actually downplays how awful real mass shootings are. They're awful. They're horrible. Obviously, I feel awful when this actually happens, and everyone does. We shouldn't make light of it. But lying about it, especially about something so sensitive like this, for political gain, it really lessens the real tragedies, in my opinion. When you make them more common and you're saying it just happens to all these people that it actually never happened to, you minimize the real tragedies. And that kind of brings me to the second problem with this, which is that this is being used for political gain, obviously. This is a woke university. The University of Colorado has crazy stories come out of it every single year. They have a lot of woke, they've had some of the trans stuff come out of there. And this is just another example of that. And again, they're trying to make this study with the purpose of ending the Second Amendment, which is a huge problem. And the fight against truth, I think, has never been fiercer, because not only do you have the mainstream media that's sharing this, but you also have actual universities that are using academic studies and saying this is ironclad scientific data that have just fudged the numbers in a really crazy way. And there are people willing to make the most outrageous lies out there just to take your rights away. We can't let them. Did you know that hundreds of thousands of Americans are going to lose millions of dollars this year just because they forgot to file their taxes? That's right, 88% of Americans that file their taxes are going to get over $3,000 back from the IRS. And a lot of people are not filing, thinking they're going to lose money, but they're leaving money on the table. And that's why I've partnered with Quick Tax America. Quick Tax America has already gotten its average tax returner over $4,000 back from the IRS just this year. And unlike the other services who are raising their rates because it's April, they are not doing that. All federal returns with them are only $69. It's a completely transparent price because it is their only price, no matter how complicated your taxes are. Quick Tax America runs dozens of simulations on your taxes to ensure that they get you the best return possible, and they do all the work for you. All you got to do is upload your files, answer a few basic questions, and then schedule a 15-minute finish your return call with a tax professional. They do all the rest of the work. So go check them out at quicktaxamerica.com, or you can go to the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you haven't already, go down below, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and watch another video.